All right, so I'm Chris Davis. I'm the president of ASAPA. And so our term just started in July. ASAPA is the program, the volunteer association here in Arizona to promote the practice of PAs and to better the practice of PAs here in the state. We concentrate in obviously helping PAs with questions about how to practice in the state of Arizona and increasing the awareness of physician assistant practice in Arizona and tweaking or helping to promote better legislation in the state so that PAs can practice more efficiently.
I'm Sarah O'Donnell. I'm the first year student representative for ATSU for ASAPA, which is the Arizona State Association of Physician Assistants. And what that organization does is represent PAs on the Arizona level. There's a national conference, AAPA, which is representative of all the PAs in the U.S. Arizona is kind of a daughter organization of that. So what their main goals are is to lobby for specific laws in Arizona, so really keep up on legislation.
All right, what is your name and how are you involved in the PA field?
My name is April Hoffman and I'm a third-year PA student at Bend Western University. I actually graduate in 6 weeks.
Can you describe ASAPA in your own words?
Sure. ASAPA is an organization of physician assistants in Arizona, and they do a couple of different things. For one, they provide biannual CME conferences. They provide opportunities for networking among physician assistants practicing in Arizona, as well as students with preceptors and that kind of thing. They also do a lot of work actually with the state legislature and working on laws that govern physician assistants and trying to broaden the scope of practice in certain respects.
So the way we do that is we have people that there's the volunteers. The leadership is composed of a president and an immediate past president and a president-elect. So it's kind of a 3-year term because you'll be the president-elect and then the president and the immediate past president. We have a board of directors. We have 4 board of directors, directors at large. And then we have a secretary and a treasurer. And that kind of makes up the executive board. And then we have different committees, some that focus on legislative issues, some that focus on public relations, some that focus on our relationship with students, both pre-PA students and PA students. And there are 4 student representatives on the ASAPA board. So between there's 2 from each school. So obviously, when the 3rd one comes on, there'll be 6.
Yeah.
But and they have a true say on the board. They share between the 4 of them. I think they share 1 vote though. So at the beginning of each meeting, they decide. Okay, your vote.
That's still a big deal. That's still a big deal though.
Absolutely.
Good.
Because there's things that affect the students here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think it's Lauren Wilcox.
Is our we just voted to get one in our class.
Right.
And so we just elected one of ours, but we interviewed
the
previous one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Just to get the student idea of it.
Well, not only that, when you work with the leadership in the state association as a student representative, suddenly we know who you are too.
Yeah.
So it's it's good.
Yeah, it is good. And it probably helps with staying up on legislation.
Absolutely. We send out. In the past few years, we've had 2 important pieces of legislation go through that changed. Last year in 2010 was the fact that PAs were allowed to do certain things. And certain things that we don't have, certain housekeeping and paperwork items that we don't have to follow through anymore to make it easier for licensure. Also, some other authority was given to PAs. And this year, we were able to increase the prescribing authority from 14 days to 30 days, which actually today was the implementation date.
Cool.
So these are things that the State PA Association has been able to work through and work with the legislation to get changed.
The most current thing that they did for PAs was allow docs to supervise 4 PAs instead of 2 in Arizona. So that just allows us more freedom and more capabilities to work in Arizona. And right now they're working on allowing PAs to prescribe class 2 and 3 scheduled drugs for 30 days instead of 72 hours, which just opens our scope of practice even more. So those are their big goals, is to just lobby for PAs, giving us more rights in the state, allowing us to practice medicine more efficiently and allow us to provide our patients with better health care, so they don't have to always go to a specialist. We can give them more opportunities for their health care.
Hello, we're here with Jennifer Kaiser, a current physician assistant who's working in Arizona. So Jennifer, can you please tell us about where you work?
I work for a pain management practice that primarily focuses on cancer pain and palliative care medicine.
Okay. So working in pain management, I'm sure that you must see a lot of patients that are on class 2 medications. Is that true?
I do, yes. Pretty much about 95% of them are.
Okay. So you must be pretty excited about the new legislation.
Absolutely. It comes to effect 3 days from now, and we have actually been a part of 2 weeks prescribing, and nurse practitioners have been hired over me recently, so I'm very excited that finally I will be equal.
Very exciting. So how is it that you first came to learn about the new legislation?
We have only been able to prescribe for either 3 days or 14, and I have other physician assistants that are very involved in the ASAPA organization and have let me know that this was coming about recently with a new law, and we've been following it very closely and found out that July 20th it will be one of those things that we can all be on an equal basis. I'm very excited because I will no longer have to rely on my physicians for this type of prescribing ability, which in the pain management field is pretty much all we do.
We also host 2 CME events each year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And the fall is the one that we have that balance between Flagstaff, or the northern area, and the southern area. Last year it was in Tucson. This year it'll be in Prescott. And then our spring event, our spring CME event, is usually, we've held it at Fountain Hills at the Radisson there. And I think this year it's going to be at the Arizona Grand, which is kind of a bigger resort area.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, so it's nice. And then the nice thing about that is, students are absolutely welcome. In fact, they're encouraged to come. And we have a challenge bowl as part of the some of the events. So we have AT Still versus Midwestern.
Ooh, competitive.
Yeah.
That's great.
And last year it worked. We kind of tweaked it a little bit for the upcoming year. Last year it ended up that the Midwestern first-year team was against the Midwestern second-year team because the AT Still program didn't fare so well.
Oh.
They got beat by both in both rounds.
Oh man.
So
We got a lot to live up to. Yes.
Yeah. So this year I think what we'll do is we'll have the first round be the 2 Midwestern teams compete, and then the 2 AT Still teams.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So, and there's the new coming school, the NAU program that's going to be, hopefully will be involved with our association. So things are looking good.
Cool. What do you think would benefit us as students and as first-year graduates when we do graduate and enter the field?
Sure.
What?
So the nice thing about being an ASAPA member is a lot of it is the networking that you get to develop. You mostly, as I'm sure you'll figure out, jobs are a lot of word of mouth. Either you found your job while you were on your rotation, you worked at that place, or the physician that you're working with knows somebody that needs somebody, or it's the word of mouth that goes on between the PAs that meet at these mixers, or we have a job bank or employment center on our website. It's open to members too. We're a pretty healthy organization. We meet at least quarterly. We also have what we call mixers. Every quarter we try and have just a low-key event at a local
that's cool.
meeting place, whether it's a restaurant or whatnot, so that PAs that are living in that area can meet and visit. And the struggle, some of the struggles we have are that there's a lot of PAs in the Phoenix metro area that can attend these local events. But the outliers, the Flagstaff area, the Tucson area, Yuma, we have trouble reaching out to them. So we actually have some directors at large, one in each a northern and a southern area that can kind of represent. Right. So what does a student need to know? Well, the PA Association is working to better the PA practice, but also getting a job is very important for networking.
Yeah, and so it helps us a ton.
Absolutely.
Networking.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And how has being a member benefited you?
Personally, as a student, I've attended several of their CME conferences because at Midwestern we get credit for going to conferences towards our master's as well as obtaining CME credits. I was also able to participate in a couple of their networking events and meet potential preceptors and that kind of thing. Currently, I've also used their website because they have available job postings, so I'm currently in the process of trying to find a job. So,
why should we join it?
Why should you join? Because it's supposed to be representative of PAs in Arizona, you should join the organization so that your voice is part of that. There's not much of real representation in Arizona, there's not much participation, so we're trying to raise that level of membership. Really, any state you practice in, you should be a part of their state organization so that they are representing you to the fullest ability. We're lobbying for all this legislation. It should be the majority voice of PAs that you're lobbying for.
Is it important for students here at AT Still, PA students, to be part of this organization?
Definitely. There are many opportunities for students in joining ASAPA. As a student, it's free to join, so just sign up. As long as you are a member of AAPA, it's free. Otherwise, it's a minimal cost. And they provide opportunities for networking, so you can meet other PAs, which could line up leads for rotations. They provide job listings frequently, so whether you're a student or PA practicing, you have that access to what's going on. You get discounted rates on the CME conferences. There's a whole host of things that they offer. You'd have to go to their website to get a full list of everything they offer for students, PAs, just members in general.